I boxed at a fairground, and I boxed a boy by the name of Jimmy Norton, who boxed as a regular, as a flyweight, my weight, at the Devonshire Club in Hackney. And I boxed him 6 rounds, no decision, but if you lasted the distance, you were considered to be the winner. And therefore you had more, a pound or 2 more, I forget what it was now, than the loser, so-called. But it's what we call a real moody fight. It was all moody. You know, he would come at me with some throwing punches, not solid ones, because he mainly slapping, so that he didn't really hurt the opponent. And I did the same thing.
So was it a G fight? I've heard that term.
Yeah, it was a G fight, yeah. I'd got put down and I went down. I went down much for the reason that I wanted a breather, because I hadn't been training, I hadn't been boxing, so I hadn't been training. And I was glad to have that few seconds rest before I got up. And so it went on, and I would do the same thing to him and put him down. But the end of the contest, which I received, I think I earned about £7 for that fight. After the fight was over, the manager of this boxer came to me, who ran the booth, and he said to me, "You didn't have to throw punches the way you did. Look what you've done to his eye." He said he won't be able to box now for me. I said, "Oh, he'll be all right soon enough, it'll disappear." But I apparently brought his eye up.
Oh, because you weren't used to pulling your punches.
No, I wasn't used to anything like that. I didn't know how to do it. All I knew was I had to throw punches to make it look good. Some I knew that weren't connecting, because that was just pulling the punches, if you know what I mean.
Do you remember where the booth was?
Yeah, it was on Leighton ground. It was in Leighton, on a fairground there. And, I did that another once. But yes, once in Stoke Newington, at the rear of Simpson's, had a factory there, a clothing factory. And at the rear, they were able to put up a marquee, and I asked if I could be on the bill. And they billed me as being the champion of Stoke Newington. Champion of Stoke Newington. They might just well have said I was champion of my own household. Anyway, I boxed, who was it now I boxed? I boxed a boy by the name of Les Haycox. He was known because he used to box on some of the bills on Myland Arena and Devonshire. Les Haycox. Yeah, I do remember that. Les Haycox. And we had a good, I don't know how many rounds it was now, probably it was 6. And yes, I went round with the hat, as you did after the fight, so as to boost up your money that you were going to get. I was considered to be the winner. I got £3 for it, and I was able to get money from the public, which he and I shared after the fight was over.
So when would that have been?
Oh, I was already, 26, 28. I was no longer involved as a boxer. That was so as to get a few pounds. I went into the booth in the marquee. But that's all I did it for, not for glory.